Aaron, where are you? Where is Aaron right now? You done messed up, Aaron!
Aaron is here. Thanks for joining me, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, guys, I want to play for you a clip of Tom Cruise talking about this controversial practice in Scientology, at least the media talks about it as if it's controversial, of requiring silence during childbirth. This came up and Tom Cruise had to answer for this when it was found, a photographer managed to capture someone walking into Tom Cruise's house sometime shortly prior to Katie Holmes giving birth to Surrey Cruise. Someone walking into his house with these big giant printed signs instructing everyone to be silent and not to speak and to move slowly and all this kind of things. And there is something in Scientology called a silent birth. Let me just show you this clip quickly of Tom Cruise being asked about it and what his answer was. Take a look.
The silent birth.
Another controversy. It is all through Scientology books that even unborn children must be protected from negative emotions. There's a rumor that there's even a mouthpiece to keep the mother silent during birth. Photographers captured Scientology posters being carried into his home.
Be silent, make movements slow, make gestures slow. What is this about?
I don't even know those photos. It's basically just respecting the mother, you know? I mean, and helping to be quiet. Not the mother. The mother makes as much noise, and people, you know, she's going through it.
There's no bit in her mouth.
No. She goes. She does what she's got to do. Okay, and there's this whole thing that if she needs medicine, she needs medicine. There's no, we're there, you know, with doctors, and there's, you know, whatever needs to be administered, whatever the woman wants. So I'm not going to tell Kate, you know, if she needs an epidural, she's going to get her epidural. And if she's going to make noise, she's going to make noise. But why have other people make noise? You know, you want that area very calm, and to make it very special.
I find Tom Cruise to be strangely inarticulate for someone who has such a wide breadth of experience in this world. I mean, when you consider all the people, all the high-profile, educated people that Tom Cruise has had to interact with and work with and speak with, and you'd think learn from, I just find him to be strangely inarticulate. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Now, he starts out by saying, I don't know about those photos. Tom, what in the world is that supposed to mean? Are you saying that's not your home? Are you saying you don't know who that person was in the photo entering your home? Are you saying you have no memory of asking those cards to be printed up? Like you say you don't know about the photos. Well, nobody said you took the photos. Nobody said where did the photos come from. But anyway, that's what I mean. Like it didn't really have anything to do with the question that was asked. And silent birth in Scientology is a real thing. And even in Tom Cruise's attempts to answer this question, he seems evasive and dodgy. And that's part of what I mean when I say inarticulate. Let me steel man the description of a silent birth. And you would think that Tom Cruise, being sort of the spokesperson for Scientology, would be out there ahead of this thing, explaining it in its, you know, full breadth and why it really is what, you know, Scientologists believe and what it's based on. And yet he comes across as being evasive. He would be the steel man argument. In Scientology and Dianetics, L. Ron Hubbard describes this thing that he calls the reactive mind. The reactive mind is supposed to be the part of the mind that contains recordings of moments of pain and unconsciousness, and it records all of the sensory perceptions and all of the words spoken during these incidents. And that at a later point in time, the contents of these recordings, Scientology calls the recordings engrams, the contents of these recordings can be restimulated later in time, and it has negative effects on the person when this restimulation occurs. I no longer believe in this BS, but this is what Scientologists believe, and this is these are the principles behind silent birth. Now, someone in an engram, L. Ron Hubbard says that in an engram, the words spoken that are recorded react upon the individual later in a literal sense. So, and also remember, a Scientologist would say that birth, the experience of birth, is an engram for both the mother giving birth and for the child being born. So if the mother was there during birth screaming something like, I can't breathe, or this baby is killing me, or something like that, that those literal words would have an effect on the person at a later point in time. Now, the theory behind a silent birth, it's not supposed to have to do with just random noises being kept to a minimum. It's supposed to have to do with spoken words being kept to a minimum. So whereas a mother giving birth would, of course, you would expect her to like be screaming in pain or whatever, Scientologists would say, yeah, go ahead and scream in pain, but don't say words that could be literally interpreted as commands in engrams. And for the love of God, nobody around the mother should be saying pretty much anything at all. Now, Tom Cruise starts his explanation with sort of a half-truth, which is it's all about respecting the mother. It's not really about respecting the mother. It's about reducing the engramic content that is recorded during this moment of pain for the mother and pain for the baby. And I will say that the point of a silent birth, Scientologically speaking, is more for the baby's benefit, not for the mother's benefit. And that's where I go. He starts out with this half-truth, whereas Tom Cruise, the super Scientologist, really should have taken that as an opportunity to explain the value of a silent birth for the child. I think his evasiveness in answering this question was partially tied to the fact that he was trying to spin it all as something that was being done for the mother's sake, and yet you clearly have restrictions being put on the mother. How can you put restrictions on the mother for the mother's own sake? You'll notice Tom says, if she's going to make noise, she's going to make noise. Here's what he said.
You know, whatever needs to be administered, whatever the woman wants. I'm not going to tell Kate, you know, if she needs an epidural, she's going to get her epidural. And if she's going to make noise, she's going to make noise. But why have other people make noise?
Now, who says if a woman's going to make noise during childbirth? He's sort of letting the cat out of the bag that Kate, by the way, is it just me? Am I the only one creeped out that Tom Cruise refused to call Katie Holmes Katie? Like, nobody calls Katie Holmes Kate. I mean, is it just me? It feels really awkward. This is what I mean about him being inarticulate. Like, there's no if to it. It should be, of course she's going to make noise. Childbirth is extremely painful. It would be impossible not to make noise. And then he should have gone in and explained what a Dianetics engram is and what a Scientology, an engram is a Dianetics thing. It's a Scientology thing, but it comes from Dianetics. Because the engram is the entire basis for the practice of silent birth. And Tom is trying to explain silent birth in the context of just being respectful to the mother, and he's dodging the part about the engram. I don't know, it's kind of a recurring theme in my videos where I'm constantly pointing out examples of how Scientology, whether it's through embarrassment or whatever, seems to be almost literally incapable of ever just being honest and straightforward about its beliefs and its practices. It is so preoccupied with how society perceives it and trying to manipulate how it is perceived by society that very attempt to manipulate is what itself contributes to Scientology's horrible reputation. I mean, never mind the fact that it is a family-destroying cult that bankrupts its members, but I'm saying even if that's what you are, you end up looking even worse when on top of that, you're not capable of clearly explaining and standing up for and defending your most fundamental core beliefs. So anyhow, that's all I've got on silent birth. And I guess, they mentioned something about a woman having a bit in her mouth. That sounds very strange. I can tell you, I've never heard of that. I'm just off the top of my head, I'm thinking if you wanted something to like bite down on, I mean, it doesn't seem like that would be a horrible idea. But there's not like some Scientology bit that you can buy at a Scientology organization to put in a woman's mouth to keep her from speaking or making noise during childbirth. That's not really a thing. But I do sort of wonder if Tom had some custom mouthpiece made for Katie. I feel like that's a rumor that probably didn't come from nowhere. Tom seems weird enough that that's something he could have done. So anyway, all right, guys, that's what I got about silent birth. Thanks, everyone, for watching and listening. Thanks to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.